I think most of us agree that there is something about our childhood that we quietly miss. Those mornings when you dreaded going to school, but somehow forgot all about it once you were there, laughing with your friends. You miss those lunch breaks that were spent playing instead of eating. Those afternoons filled with noise, jokes, and shared stories as you walked home together with your friends. You miss that feeling of innocence, where life was untouched by worry and where happiness was simple and effortless. You miss the people you thought would always be there, but who somehow drifted away. And sometimes we tell ourselves how wonderful it would be to be a child again. But here we are, standing in the present, longing for a past that will never return. Back then, we didn't know how precious those moments were. But the question is, why do we only see their beauty now? One main reason for this is our lack of awareness when we were young. When we were young, we felt things deeply, but we didn't yet know how to make sense of them. We lived completely inside the moment. We laughed, we played, we felt joy, but we didn't yet have the awareness to recognize it as happiness. We hadn't learned to step back and understand what those moments truly meant. And that's why we never realized how beautiful those days were, until we grew old enough to remember them. But understanding doesn't come from age alone. It also comes from contrast. We recognize how special our childhood was because we can now compare it to where and who we are today. As children, we had freedom. Now we have responsibilities that make us long for that freedom. Back then, we were surrounded by laughter. Now we understand what silence feels like. We once lived without worry. Now we know what it means to carry it. Only by feeling the weight of the present do we realize how light the past once was. Only by growing older do we see what youth truly meant. There is a contrast between what we are experiencing now and what we experienced back then. That is the irony of life. We see clearly only after the colors begin to fade. Philosopher Søren Kierkegaard also said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." We only begin to understand our childhood when we look back at it from the present. That's when we finally realize how extraordinary those days truly were. It's a quiet paradox. We see the truth only after the moment has passed. And maybe that's why nostalgia feels both sweet and painful. Because understanding always comes too late. But this longing, this nostalgia we feel has a reason. It carries a meaning that we're meant to understand. It isn't just sadness for what's gone. It's a complex emotion, both sweet and painful, because it reminds us that what we miss once made life meaningful. And that happens when we remember the good old days. We feel a little pain, but it also brings peace. We miss what is gone, but at the same time, we are reaffirming that those moments mattered, that they shaped us, changed us, and gave us something worth holding on to. It's normal to feel nostalgic for the past, for the days we can never go back to. But no matter where we are, or what we're doing now, we shouldn't let that longing take over the present. We are already here, and these moments, right now, are quietly becoming memories too. Remember that those old days you miss so much were once your present. And one day, this very moment will be the one you will look back on and miss. When your legs can barely stand, you'll miss the strength that once carried you. When your hair turns gray and your face gathers its gentle lines, you will miss the beauty that once greeted you every morning. When your hands begin to tremble and your voice softens with age, you will miss the steadiness and the laughter that once filled your days. When the world grows quieter and the nights feel longer, you will remember the noise, the faces, the life that once surrounded you. Everything you have now, this time, this place, these people, will one day be only a memory too. So live fully. Breathe deeply. Value this moment like it's another chance at childhood. Because one day, this present, the life you're living right now, will be what your future self calls the good old days.